Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. Today we will be studying the 17th chapter, that is Gulliver arrives in Lilliput. See, Gulliver is a sailor actually, and he arrives in Lilliput. Lilliput is a destination somewhere. So let's read this chapter. It seems to be quite adventurous regarding this chapter. So let's just start. That is Gulliver arrives in Lilliput, right? See, this is a story. In this chapter we will meet a young sailor जिसका नाम क्या है? Gulliver. गुलिवर इज अ सेलर एंड ही सेट आउट ऑन इट्स फर्स्ट सी जर्नी। एक इसने अपनी सबसे पहले ही जस्ट प्लान्ड हिज फर्स्ट सी जर्नी, समुंदर की जर्नी। द शिप वाज कॉट एंड डिस्ट्रॉयड इन स्टॉर्म, और उसकी जो शिप है इट गॉट डिस्ट्रॉयड मींस इट गॉट खराब हो गई थी, टूट गई थी इन स्टॉर्म। एंड हाउ वुड गुलिवर सेव हिज लाइफ? वी विल बी रीडिंग दिस स्टोरी टू नो अबाउट इट, हाउ गुलिवर सेव्ड हिज लाइफ from after the destruction of his boat. See, I love to have adventures. He loves to be. Matlab Gulliver is actually a very adventurous boy. Okay, he never misses an opportunity to go on a voyage. What do you mean by opportunity? Opportunity means chance, and voyage is a journey through. You can say it's a journey on sea. Okay, या तो sea पे कभी कभी sea और via मतलब voyage is actually a journey via sea, or you can say via air. And I love to make voyages across the sea. I have already told you that voyage is a journey across the sea, and I like to visit new countries. And once I was on such a voyage on my little ship. He was on a actually journey on sea. He was sailing his ship on the sea, and when his voyage began, he enjoyed good weather and it was very prosperous. Prosperous means it was very growing. Okay, it was very prosperous means it was very healthy. And but in our passage to the East Indies, जब वो East Indies के पास पहुंचा, we were driven by a violent storm, and over there violent storm took place near this place and northwest of Van Diemen's Land. and एक तो यहाँ पे एक तो ईस्ट इंडीज में और एक नॉर्थ ईस्ट के वैन डीमन लैंड में। and 12 of our crewmen, they were dead either by the hard work or by the bad food. Either they were working very hard, that is by the hard work, or you can say by the very bad food, either due to the hard work or you can say due to the nutrition. And the rest were in weak condition, and rest of the people who were present in that ship, they were weak, matlab they were in a critical situation. And on 5th of the November, the weather becomes very hazy. Hazy means which is surrounded by clouds that are full of, matlab it's about to rain, but it's not raining, quite humidity over here, with strong winds, बहुत ज़्यादा हवा चल रही है, and we were driven directly upon a rock, and our little ship was wrecked. See, again, you are seeing this word wreck. Wreck means to destroyed, and they were facing with the strong winds, and where we even directly driven directly हमारे आगे क्या आ गया, एक पत्थर आ गया और एक छोटी सी शिप जो है was wrecked means destroyed. Okay, and six of the crew of whom I was the one, and six of them, there were six members of in the crew and I was one of them, means Gulliver try to escape the wreckage. Wreckage means destroy. Just write down, this is a synonym of this wreckage and very important word. Okay, we rode till we were able to work no longer. हमने तब तक उस शिप को चलाया जब तक हमें लग रहा था कि अब आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता. We were not able to work longer. And in about half an hour, the boat was capsized with strong winds. And और जब थोड़ी देर आधा घंटा हुआ तो और तेज हवा से वो फेस होने लगी, क्या, हमारी शिप. What become of my companions in the boat as well as those who escaped on the rock? They were left in the ship. And what happened? And what became of my companions in the boat? Ki some of them were in the boat, some of them they escaped, and I cannot tell you ki how I managed to survive, and I cannot express and I cannot tell you that how I faced the challenge and managed to survive. I swam and walked near a mile before I got to the shore at last. And he came out of the boat, he started swimming, and somehow after swimming he reached to a shore. Shore is actually a kinara. Then I start looking for any sign of houses or inhabitant. Then I start looking for some house or inhabitant. Inhabitant is a place where you can survive. Okay. And I found none. See, we can say that we reside in our homes and our home is an inhabitant because we are living over here. and I was extremely tired and soon fell asleep. And at that shore, at that point of the shore only, I was feeling too exhausted that I just slept over here only. And when I awoke, it was just a daylight. And when I awoke, actually, he wake up the next morning. That is why it was daylight. And I tried to rise, but I was not able to stare. Means he's saying that I was trying to wake up, but I was not able to stare. Actually, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, we are too tired that I was not able to wake up. Kind of the situation was happening with the Gulliver. And I was lying on my back, and I found my eyes and legs were strongly fastened on each side to the ground. They were fastened to each out of the ground, means they were stuck in the ground. जैसे हम कभी ऐसे लेट जाते हैं as we are lying, तो वो इतने मतलब इतना दर्द हो रहा था that he was not able to move his arms and legs. And my hair that was long and thick was tied down in the same manner, जो बाल इतने बड़े थे वो पानी में जाके ऐसे क्या हो गए, श्रिंक हो गए, और वो एक लॉन्ग से स्ट्रक्चर में आ गए. एंड आई फेल्ट सेवरल रोप across my body from my armpits to my thighs. From my armpits to my thighs मेरे को बहुत सारे निशान भी थे. इसके that is rope, रस्सियों के, क्योंकि they were struggling to come out of the boat with the help of a rope. rope कहते हैं रस्सी को. And I could only look upward. The sun began to grow hot and the light offended my eyes. And he was not able to move. He was just lying like this, and he was only able to see the sun, as he can see that the brighter sun was shining brighter and bright. And over here you can say, okay, it's offended. This is the past tense. And I heard a confused noise near me, but lying on my back. I heard a voice, but it was lying on my back. It was quite confused, and I could see nothing except the sky because he was not able to move up. That is why he was only able to see look into the sky only. I felt something alive moving on my left leg. He saw that someone is moving alive. कोई जिंदी सी चीज मेरे लेफ्ट लेग के ऊपर मूव कर रही है. Might be it can be any sea crab, or you can say sea prawn. And it advanced gently forward or over my breast and came almost up to my chin. And that organism, from its feet and thighs, it was coming to his breast and then came to his chin. And I bent my eyes downward and saw a human creature not 6 inches high with a bow arrow in his hand. And what did he saw? That I saw, and I bent my eyes like he was lying, and he just bent his eyes and downward, and he saw that it was a human creature. It was not 6 inches high. 6 inches high नहीं था. With a bow arrow उसके हाथ में था, and a quiver at his back. और एक quiver is a kind of a basket जिसके अंदर आप arrows रखते हैं. And in the meantime, I felt at least 40 more than the same kind of following the first. और ऐसे ही उसके चारों ओर 40 persons थे who were handling the arrows at the back of him, right? And I was astonished. As you all know, I have several times told you, astonish means surprise. And roared so loud that they all ran in a fright. In a fright means डर के वो लोग भाग गए. As I roared, मैंने इतनी तेज चिल्लाया. Some of them were hurt when they fell, and मैंने इतनी जोर से चिल्लाया that some of them from their troop members, some of them they just fell at that time only. And however, they soon returned, and one of them they came across to get a full sight of my face, and one of them it came across mine to get my full sight of the face, कि मेरे चेहरे के पास आके एकदम खड़े हो गए like this, okay, because he was lying, that is why. He lifted up his hands and eyes in admiration and cried out in a thrill but distinct voice. Like he lifted up his hands, अपने हाथ ऊपर करे, eyes in admiration, eyes को एकदम concentration से देखा, and cried out in a shrill. Shrill means थोड़ी थरथराती हुई आवाज, and a distinct voice means बहुत अलग सी. Hey King Daegul, इन्होंने कुछ अपनी आवाज में बोला. The others repeated the same word several times, but I could not understand what they meant. You must have seen this scenario in the movies. In there is one movie that is Myana. I don't remember the exact name. It's actually streaming on the Hotstar platform. Over there, you can see this kind of a scenario. Okay. So I lay all this while in a great uneasiness. Actually, he was not able to move, so I was just thinking, I was just seeing in a great uneasiness. Great uneasiness, you can say, बहुत ही ज़्यादा उसको problem हो रहा था. He was facing so many problems in his body. At length, struggling to get loose, I had fortune to break the string that fastened my leg arm to the ground. And when somehow, actually, I had the fortune to break the strings. Break the strings मतलब मैंने somehow मेरे का good luck था कि I fastened my left leg. मैंने कोशिश करी अपने left leg को हिलाने की ground पे, and I could lose the string that tied down my hair on the left side. Actually, there was a string that was lying on the left side of his hair, so he somehow managed to lose over it. And I was just able to turn my head about 2 inches, and he was able to move his head for only 2 inches. 2 inches means यहाँ से थोड़ा सा वहाँ पे. And I was able to turn my head 2 inches, but the creatures ran off the second time before I could seize them. Before I could attack them, all the creatures, all the 40 members, they just went back. They just go. Then there was a great shout, and after it stopped, I heard one of them cry aloud. And then there was a great shout. एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा तेज चिल्लाने की आवाज आई. After it stopped, फिर वो रुक गई, and I heard one of them cry aloud. क्या बोल रहे हैं वो? Tolgophonic. And again they are saying some their words in their language only. And in an instant, I felt 100 arrows discharged on my left hand that pricked me like so many needles. And he saw that those group has basically pricked a kind of 100 arrows on his left hand, and it feels like कि मेरे को क्या हो गई, बहुत सारी सुई चुभ गई. When this shower of arrows was over, I was groaning with grief and pain. I was groaning means मेरे को बहुत दर्द हो रहा था with grief. You can say when somebody dies, then we were just mourn, na? We are just silent kind of that. I thought it would be prudent to lie still night, and it would be prudent. What do you mean by this prudent? Prudent means wise. इट्स यूजफुल दैट वी शुड लाई एट दैट टाइम क्योंकि मेरे को बहुत सारे एरोज लग चुके थे हाथ पे. And when the people observed I was quiet, they shoot no more arrows at me by the noise I heard. Because by the noise I heard, I was in so much pain that people stopped. That people, they observed and they were actually quiet. And I knew their numbers increased. And what I knew that their numbers were increasing. They were increasing. I saw a stage being erected about a foot and half from the ground. See, half from the ground means मेरे आगे 2 फुट छोड़ के एक ग्राउंड है जिसमें that was capable of holding 4 of the inhabitants with 2 or 3 leaders to mount it. And for handling those groups, there were 2 to 3 ladders, and 4 of the inhabitants means 4 of the inhabitants, they were just pulling, they were just handling that ladder to mount on it कि उस स्टेज के ऊपर चढ़ने के लिए. And from there, one of them, who seems to be one of their leaders, made a long speech of which I could understand nothing. They were actually saying the speech in their language, so he was not able to understand one what they are saying. And then about 50 of the little people, they came and cut the string that fastened the left side of my head. और जो मेरे left side of the head में वो string थे, उन्होंने लोगों ने उसको फटाफट fasteningly उसको cut किया and make me relax. The leader tried to reassure. Reassure means फिर से किसी चीज की assurance लेना that I would not be brought to harm if I listened to them. He is saying that if I would have listened to them, then they would not have harmed you like this. So the leader then descended from the stage. What do you mean by descended? Stage से उतरना. And if it is ascended, that means stage पे चढ़ना. And commanded that several leaders should be brought into my sight. That several leaders, they should be brought into my sight, surrounded by me. And above 100 of the tiny people mounted and walked towards my mouth. And 100 of the people, they walked towards my mouth, and they were just around my mouth only. And they were carrying baskets full of meat, and what they were carrying in their hand, they were carrying a basket which was full of meat, and which have been proved and sent to my by the king orders. और जो जिसको किसने भेजा है, king के orders के through ये यहाँ पे भेजा गया है. And I ate them 2 or 3 at a mouthful and took 3 loaves at a time. And I was eating 2 or 3 loaves at a time. मतलब 2-3 टुकड़े एक बार में खा रहा था. And they went on bringing me food, astonished at my appetite. And they were astonished by the appetite because he was feeling too hungry at that time, that I made another sign that I wanted to drink. Now he just pointed out another thing that now I want something to drink. And astonished means surprised. Where is the word astonished? Okay. And they knew that a small quantity would not suffice me. Well, small quantity means कोई थोड़ी सी अगर तुम quantity लेके आओगे तो वो मेरी प्यास या फिर मेरी वो भूख नहीं मिटाएगी. That is not suffice me means it was not sufficient for me. They carried a huge pot of milk and then rolled it towards my hand. और फिर they were carrying a huge pot and they hold it towards my hand. I drank it one gulp. I drank in one gulp means एक ही सांस में पी लिया. They brought me another pot. I drank in the same manner and made signs for more. Actually, he drank again and he made more signs that I want more water to drink. And they have nothing to give me. I have drunk all the milk in the land. Whatever they were carrying, there was milk in the land. So I drank all that because they were having nothing to make me drink further. And after this generous meal, my eyes felt heavy with sleep, and that was the first day in my Lilliput. And this is how I spent my first day in the Lilliput. He was totally injured at that time. Actually, the arrows they were got pricked in his left hand, and he was not able to move. And further, it was surrounded by lot of, you can say, this is a kind of another species that belongs to some other planet. They are kind of a forest people. You might have seen those people wearing the leaves on their bodies, kind of that structure. Okay, so this is again a very factual story that you just read, that how the Gulliver saved his life and how he spent his first day at Lilliput. Lilliput is a planet which is located somewhere. I hope you all like this chapter, and please go through this chapter and thorough study. Okay, and do thorough study and keep smiling. Stay hydrated. Thank you.